Hello there. Thanks for joining Beach Woodcraft. I'm John. Today we're going to be attaching the stretcher to the bottom of our lounge side table. And the way we're going to do that is with threaded inserts. We've already got holes drilled through the stretcher, and the stretcher is double side taped down to the bottom of the box that makes up the drawer side table. So the next step is to drill pilot holes through the stretcher into the bottom of the box, and we need to go a ½ an inch deep into the box itself for the threaded inserts. So we'll go a little bit more than a ½ an inch to give a little bit of extra room. And I will bring you around here so you can see the process and how I set up the drill. So these holes right here, 4 each, were drilled on the drill press, so they're, nice and straight and perpendicular to the piece. We'll use those as a guide to make our pilot holes into the case. Now I want to go down a little bit more than ½ an inch. So what I've got is I've got a ½ an inch setup block and a 1/16 of an inch setup block, and I'm just going to kind of use that to set my double-sided, or my blue tape, my masking tape, to set my depth. And this is kind of, this is kind of a plus or minus thing, but it'll get us close enough to where we want to be. I want to make sure that tape's going to spin okay. Yep, all right. So we're double side taped down. We're going to make our 4 pilot holes, and then we're going to have to open these holes up to the instructions call for 3/8 of an inch diameter hole for these 1/4-20 threaded inserts. Sorry, the focus, autofocus. But like we learned before, going into these hardwoods, we want to oversize that a little bit, so we're going to go a 1/64 up on that, just to be sure that the insert goes in smoothly and all the way. So here goes nothing. Okay, so off camera, I decided to drill an intermediate step before we go to our final diameter, which is going to be 25/64, 1/64 over 3/8. And I'm sure it'll happen again, but you could feel the drill, as you were drilling, you could feel the drill bit trying to pull itself into the hole, aggressively. And that's one thing you got to be super careful of, is just sort of almost hold back on it as it starts to bite, because it wants to pull itself in. And you can see how I'm kind of holding back and pulling it back out. Getting a little bit of tear out, but this is going to be underneath the stretcher, so I'm not concerned terribly about that. I am concerned about drilling through the case. I really don't want to do that. Although, if it were to happen, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because the drawer's in there and no one's going to see that either. But let's try not to. So there's our first hole, and I don't know if you could see how I'm kind of holding back on the drill, trying to prevent it from pulling its way in. And the grain pattern here is a little unusual, and it's really breaking out quite a bit. Feel it trying to pull in. So I won't torture you with drilling all 4 holes, but what I'm going to show you is my idea for installing these inserts. So I have a 1/4 inch machine screw nut and washer, and I have my 1/4 inch insert. And what I believe I will do, I'm going to need to vacuum that hole out, but I believe I will use a wrench instead of trying to use a screwdriver. And I want to engage as many threads as I can on this. And that should prevent me from damaging the top of the insert like happened on the last one. So let me get these holes vacuumed out and we'll give this a shot. Okay. Here goes our first try. It feels okay. Seems like it's going in crooked. I don't know. Looks crooked. Yeah, it seems kind of crooked, but not really sure what to do about that at this point. Just getting really tight. Yeah, this is, I don't like the way that's going in. Wow, it's crooked as heck. I betcha I won't be able to get that back out now. Oh, it's coming. So I may need to oversize it even more than a 64th for these larger ones. It's, boy, I really don't like how that went. Okay. See, the hole was straight. The hole was straight. I guess the problem was it started crooked and just kept on that sort of crooked path. Maybe if I could get it started straighter, it would go straighter. That seems a little better. Or is it? Yeah, that seems better. Sorry, I'm learning as I go along, so this is kind of a little silly, but yeah, it's sort of turning a little crooked again. Well, there you have it. There's one. I'll get the rest of them done and then we'll attach everything and see how it looks. Well, we got our 4 machine screws in. The second 2 inserts I actually did go a drill bit size larger, so I did a 32nd over recommended. And if you watch the other video where I installed the smaller inserts for the drawer pull, The 64th overworked on those, but again, they're quite a bit smaller, so maybe as you go larger, you have to even increase the drill bit oversize even more. I don't know that I would ever need larger than 1/4 inch screws or bolts for a project like this, but at any rate, it's installed. So now the next step is to take it all back apart again, do a final sanding, and put finish on it. So I'm not gonna do a video of me running a sanding operation, but I will come back for the finish because I think that's gonna look amazing as the finish goes on and the grain just jumps out at you. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.